car. She couldn't believe she was doing so. The woman was covered in blood, but there was duct tape covering her mouth, and though her eyes were closed, Colleen refused to believe she was dead. She ripped off the duct tape. "Oh, God, Colleen," her father warned. "You shouldn't. We don't know if she's alive," Colleen thought. But her father suddenly came to that realization and reached into the car, lifting the woman out. He was a strong man. She knew he had kept fit chasing after her and her siblings. He was able to lift the woman cleanly from the trunk, not bumping her head or body into anything. He laid her on the ground, pulled a Swiss Army knife out of his pocket, and sliced through the ropes that tied her wrists and ankles. He had her stretched out on the lawn, and he quickly began artificial respiration. They could hear sirens in the distance, drawing closer. As the first police car and ambulance pulled to a halt, Colleen saw the woman cough and gasp and take her first breath. She was alive. Colleen looked at her father. "Dad," she whispered, almost crying. She was so relieved. "You saved her." Her father looked at her strangely. "No, Colleen," he said softly. "You saved her. I don't know how, but you saved her." 1. Mark Gallagher spoke softly to his dog as he pulled his phone from his pants pocket to call his partner, Ragnar Johansson, who was sitting at a bus stop within shouting distance. "Act chill for a minute, Red," he told the dog. Red was a big Labrador mix, a good 100 pounds. "He found it?" Ragnar asked over the phone. "Hey, yeah," Mark said loudly for anyone who might have been watching or in earshot. Red sat for a moment at his feet. He had already indicated the house where the young woman was being held. "He found it, and we can move," Ragnar said. "Red is one damned cool canine." It wasn't Red's size that made him so unique. The crew members all called him Special Agent Red since he was a service dog in many ways, but he was highly trained in other areas. Red was excellent at finding people, both the living and the dead. "He found this house, and hopefully Sally, alive," Mark said softly. The young woman had gone missing, and according to her parents and friends, she wasn't the type to just disappear. And while a dozen possibilities could be considered in any disappearance, they'd been immediately concerned. 2 women from areas just outside of D.C. had also recently disappeared. Only they were later found dead. "Heading around the back now. It's number 1405. I checked with Angela. The house has been rented by an Alex Grant. Angela says it's a pseudonym." "So it's really Carver," Ragnar said. "But this is your plan. I'll take the front. I'll come up with a ruse. Selling Girl Scout cookies won't work." "I don't think so," Mark said dryly. His partner not only had a Scandinavian name, he looked as if he'd stepped off the set of a Viking movie. "Maybe I'll be selling life insurance." "I know you'll make something work." "We'll go," Mark told him, and ended the call. It was going to be tricky. The man could be holding a young woman. The young woman could die. But they didn't have a search warrant, and the laws weren't always on their side. But right now, life came first. "Now, boy, if you will," Mark said softly to the dog. Red let out a woof and took off at a dead run. Mark pretended to lose the leash, running after the dog into the yard. He was grateful there was no fence. Red went around to the back. Mark, following after him, heard the doorbell ring, and he knew his partner was at the front. He gave the bell a minute to be answered, and then nodded at Red, who loped to the back door, throwing himself against it. "Red, hey boy, stop please," Mark said. Of course, the dog knew to keep going. It worked as he had hoped. Their suspect, Jim Carver, after answering the doorbell and hearing the ruckus in the other room, was soon at the back door, swearing. But as planned, Ragnar had taken the opportunity to enter the house after Carver had answered the ringing doorbell. Red pushed his way into the house, barking furiously at Carver. "What the hell?" Carver yelled furiously. "I'm going to have this animal put to sleep, and you—" He stopped, staring at Ragnar. "What the hell?" he repeated. "I said you could come into the foyer, and now you're in my house? Get the hell out." "I heard someone screaming," Ragnar said. "What? You didn't hear anyone screaming," Carver said.